What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're a full Pokemon sandwich team. So I was going through all the condiments and ingredients that were used up to make a sandwich, and I thought I could do a team based on them. There were so many different options to do, so I picked 6 Pokemon which I thought could make up a splendid sandwich. And I mean, if you went to a shop and asked for a tasty Pipnite original, I reckon you get something pretty good. I've got 3 battles today with this team, and I really hope you enjoy. First battle, this one is against our Lord Zorn, and we have a really cool theme team here. I wonder if you can guess what that is. Now, my first Pokemon, of course, is going to be Lechonk, and Lechonk is going to be the bacon. So I've got this physical Rocky Helmet Troll set. Let me give it to you. So we got this Rocky Helmet set. We got Endeavor. We've got Trailblaze. We've got Headbutt. Now, the idea of this set is to flinch the opponent. Sometimes you need to go for a Trailblaze to boost its speed, and then when you get to a sort of low amount of health there, or you feel like you can't feint the opponent, you go for an Endure and then an Endeavor combination, right? This way you can Endure on their last hit after you use Endeavor and feint them. So I got the Jigglypuff all the way down to 1 health here. My ability actually came into effect, which was really cool there too, and I was like, okay, we'll go for Endeavor here and, you know, try and finish off this Jigglypuff too. So the Aroma Veil is going to kick in. I'm waiting for the Gyro Ball, and it used Present instead. It used Present instead of Gyro Ball, and that didn't actually make any contact, so Jigglypuff gets off scot-free. That's not very nice. So now we're going to go into the bunny. We've got the bacon, but, you know, to make up a sandwich, you really do need a good bun. Nothing like a nice bun. So we got Howl, Play Rough, Stomping Tantrum, and Last Resort. So that's going to be the end of the Jigglypuff there. It was a troll set. Imagine if that healed me, though. That would have been absolutely incredible stuff. So this was a Max Attack and Max Speed set. We've got the well-baked body as your ability, and the item was muscle bound. You got to hustle for that muscle. So in comes the Donphan here. Now, my attack does like virtually nothing to Donphan. Donphan's got counter. I was like, okay, I didn't expect that. You know, it's got such good defenses anyway. So I was like, well, I'm going to go for a Howl here. I'm going to try and get around the Donphan and try and boost up my attack here too, right? So you got a nice little boost in my attack. Donphan has missed the Head Smash. That's the thing about Head Smash. It's got some really good base power, but it's, you know, the accuracy is kind of shaky. So now I can go for the Last Resort here. Last Resort does, he does pretty good damage to Donphan. Donphan misses again with a Head Smash, which is really, really unlucky. And now I can finish Donphan off with another Last Resort. Now, question of the day, if you had to have a sandwich, what would it be? What's your favorite kind of sandwich if you had to have one? I quite like, I'm going to do it on the spot, I like probably some, you know, some meatballs. That's really nice. Some cheese, a little bit of salad in there. That's nice, you know. That'd be probably one of my favorite sandwiches. Something like with meat in there, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Magneton. Magneton's going to go for a Confuse Ray, and I'm not risking this. I'm probably going to hit myself a confusion, so I'm going to be swapping out the Dash Bun and going into the cheese. So I had the cheese as... I knew you would have guessed this, right, people? We got Goldengo as the treats, or the, not the trees, the string cheese. I mean, you could get cheese from trees, but it might be green. So go for a Disrespect Astonish there, and that is the end of the Magneton. Now, this set is absolutely horrible, but it is pretty fun to use. So we've got a full-on flinching Goldengo set. So max speed, max attack, Atom of Nature. We got Iron Head, Astonish, Recover, and Substitute. And we got the Lychee Berry as the item. So in comes the Volcarona. It's going to be setting up a Quiver Dance here. So I am actually kind of quivering a little bit, because at this point, it's going to be able to take me out with virtually any fire move. And as soon as I thought that, it used Ember. It took me out with the Ember critical hit. That's so mean. So my string cheese, I guess you got the bun there, and you're probably going to melt the cheese all over the bun. So it's not all that bad, right? That's not too bad. Next Pokemon we're going to bring in the bun back here. I've got that well-baked body, so I'm hoping I get a defense rise. But the Volcarona's got Absorb, so it's a full-on troll set. So it's got Quiver Dance, Ember, and Absorb. So I absorb that damage pretty well, and now I'm going to go for the Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum isn't really doing too much. And of course, the Volcarona is going to have another troll move. It's got Gust. So that's the end of the bread, right? You know, it was on top of the shelf, and, you know, you open the window, it just got blown away. Next Pokemon for the Salt, of course, is going to be my little Salt Pokemon, Nassali. And we've got Fissure, Recover, Sandstorm and Smackdown. Purifying Salt as the ability and Everlight as the item. This set was actually pretty good because it was able to tank a lot of attacks, and with the Smackdown and Fissure combination, I could virtually hit any Pokemon with the move Fissure, right? So levitating Pokemon couldn't escape, and flying type Pokemon couldn't escape, which is really, really nice. The EV spread was max health and max special events, calm nature. So it made it pretty bulky overall. So Volcarona is going to be finished there from the Little Salt. And the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Among Us. Okay, this is a little bit sussy, especially that name. Things are a little bit sus around here. So I'm going to swap out the Little Salt, and I'm going to go into the Pickle. Now, everyone will roast me saying, Shiny Dragonite is the Pickle. I'm going to be using this. And I actually will say one thing. The Shiny on Dragonite doesn't look as bad. It actually looks a little bit better. I'm not saying I'm in love with it, but it does look a little bit better there. I personally don't think I'm going to have pickles on, like, what is it, bacon? Okay, we got bacon. Okay, we got the bun first. You got the bun, right? So then we're going to put bacon on there. Then we're going to put cheese on there, sprinkle a little bit of salt, and then I'll put a pickle on the top. Nah, I think there's. I think when I'm making this sandwich, I'm just gonna drop the pickle on the table and I'm gonna miss it. Anyways, we're gonna go for a Hurricane here. This is my Rain Dance Hurricane set. I've got on this one max speed, max special attack, Timid Nature, Damp Rock is the item, Thunder from Down Under, Hydro Pump, and a Rain Dance. So a pretty cool set there. That's gonna be the end of the Among Us. 2 Hurricanes was enough to take it out. So pretty good start to this battle so far. Now, if you're enjoying the theme teams and the videos lately, please drop me a like. That really does help out the channel, and it helps you out too, because that way you can see my videos in the descriptions, the recommended, all those sort of hoops you got to jump through. So now we got this Dragonite. It's got like a couple of health left, and I thought, well, I probably won't take Misdreavus out because I'd say it'd be in an Everlight set. So I went for a Scumbag Paralysis, and unfortunately it didn't pay off, and I'm going to be fainting there. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. Now, we're going to go into the Salt here. Now, Misdreavus actually has Levitate, so I'm like, I have to go for a Smackdown here. I got to smack that down, and then I can actually use a Fissure against it. Unfortunately, Misdreavus is going to go for the Nasty Plot. Now, with the Purifying Salt ability, the only thing is, if it does use a Ghost move, it's not going to be as effective because I'll only take half damage from the Ghost move. It's still going to hit hard, though, but that is, I guess, one good thing here. So here comes the Shadow Ball from the Misdreavus on my little salt pile, and it's about a 3-hit KO around there. So go for a Smackdown. That does obviously very minimal damage, and now Misdreavus can be obviously hit by a ground type move. Obviously, I've got to roll the Fissure to land. So I'm going to go for a Terra Salt Pie here, and I'm hoping I can get the Terra Fissure. That'll be absolutely incredible. Now, I do have one Pokemon in the back, but there is a bit of a problem here. My last Pokemon on my team, it can't do anything to Misdreavus. It's completely walled. So I'm hoping I can finish the Misdreavus off with this Pokemon. So here comes another Shadow Ball. I'd say I probably could just live one more unless it was like a minimum damage or I get critical hit. So here comes the final Shadow Ball at my little salt pile. I live on 69 health there and get off the recover. That was very, very lucky. Now, I'm thinking here I might be able to go for another Fissure, but if the Misdreavus goes for another Nasty Plot, I might get a chance to get all my health back to full. So I decided to go for another Recover, and Misdreavus has gone for another Nasty Plot there. I mean, Misdreavus as a bulky special attacker with Nasty Plot is actually, like, quite good. So now I've got all my health back, but Misdreavus is going to be hitting really hard now, so I'm expecting, like, a 2-hit KO at this point. So here comes the Shadow Ball again there, and it is definitely a 2-hit KO. So now I'm going to put up the Sandstorm here. Sandstorm is actually a pretty nice strategy here because that's going to boost my special defense by 1.5 times. So I'm like, I'm going to be able to lift the Shadow Ball now, and then I can go for a Fissure. If it misses, it misses, right? But, you know, I'm hoping I can land this. So here comes the Shadow Ball here from the Misdreavus, and I got credit. You wouldn't read about it, so my best chance there sort of went up in smoke. And, of course, it is the Salt Pokemon after all, so I was very, very salty after that. So I've got one more Pokemon left. Now, the last Pokemon that I've got to add to my sandwich is going to be the egg, and that is Chansey. Now, this Chansey is, like I said, I can't do anything. I've got Defense Curl, Soft Boiled, Echo Voice, and Calm Mind. I'm thinking to myself, well, the best I can really do is go for Calm Mind like 6 times and then just Soft Boiled stall. Like, I can't do anything else. So the Misdreavus is going to go for a Terra, and it's gone to Terra Normal. I'm like, I've got a Chansey here, people. I've actually got a Chansey. So this is going to be a Hyper Voice. This is a stab Hyper Voice now. I'm very, very scared. So here it comes. That actually does an enormous amount of damage to an Everlight Chansey. So this Chansey's EV spread. So we've got max health and max defense, bold nature, of course. Everlight is the item, natural cure as sympathy, and you got to see my set there. So with the echoed voice set, as you use this consecutively, it powers up over and over. But the thing is, it's not really going to do lots of damage here. So I did take a big hit at the start there. I need to go for a softball here to get my health back, and then I can start getting some damage with echoed voice. Also, the sandstorm is happening too, so that is doing a little bit of damage to Miss Drevis, which is kind of nice. So I think this is almost the last turn of the sand. I'm thinking to myself, let's just keep going for Echo Voice now. I think I might be able to take this out in like maybe 3 hits if I'm lucky. So here comes a Hyper Voice. That does pretty good damage to Chansey. And that was my first Echo Voice. Like, wow, that did absolutely nothing. So now the sand is gone. I absolutely have to take it out this turn. I could go for softball here, but it could set up another nasty plot. So I don't want to risk that. I'm just going to go for my attacking move right here. So here's my final echoed voice, and it was probably just enough to take out the Flutter Mane, or the normal Flutter Mane. The funny thing here was if the opponent didn't Terra, I would have done nothing to them, but I guess they didn't know that I only had normal type move. Thank you for the battle, Lord Alzon. That was a really cool team there, and hope you enjoyed the first battle, people. Let's get on to battle number 2. This is a battle against Dan, and let's have some pretty cool shades there. I should get a pair of those shades. What are they? They're like aviator shades? They're pretty cool. So the first Pokemon here is going to be Vivillon. Now, I want to say this too. I am going to be revamping my Vivillon team. This was one of the earliest theme teams I ever did when I made my theme team series up many years ago. So I'm just going to wait till all the Vivillons come back in the game, and then I'll do like an entire team with every single Vivillon. It'll be absolutely incredible stuff there, but I don't think that's going to be happening at least for a few more months yet. So we're going to protect Toxic of Vivillon, which tells me this is going to be a Terra normal facade set. So physical Vivillon is very threatening, it's very, very scary stuff. So here it comes, people. We're hoping I can live this and do some amazing damage here. The bacon is going to get shredded in one shot there. There's nothing I can do. I'd say my bacon, right? I like the bacon that's like a shortcut bacon. So you sort of have you don't have that rindy part on there. It's just like the actual meaty part. So next Pokemon we got is the little salt Pokemon. What I'm gonna do here, I just like calling this the salt Pokemon. It just works, So I'm going to get that Sandstorm up there. I thought with Toxic Orb and Sandstorm, this Vivillon isn't going to be lasting, too long. Now, I would have been good if it wasn't a normal type. I would have just used Smackdown, but since that's not the case, I'm going to see if I can get some sort of damage on this thing, and a Fissure KO. So go for the Fissure, and it is not going to land, sadly. But it's all good. The Vivillon is actually fainting slowly to Toxic, and it really can't do a lot of damage to me either. And I also have the move Recover in the back too, but seriously, this Pokemon line is very, very good. So here comes another Facade there. Facade is a quality 18 hit KO. I'm going to go for the Recover here, and that's virtually got all the damage back that it did to me. Like, I was thinking here, I could go for a Smackdown unless they swap here, maybe. But I kind of doubt it. I think they're going to keep this in. So I just went for Smackdown in case it was a swap. And Vivillon is going to go for its final Facade. I guess they're hoping for a critical hit. And yeah, it does virtually nothing. But of course, it's not very effective. And Vivillon doesn't exactly have the greatest physical attack in the world there. So bye-bye physical Vivillon. Pretty cool there. Nice little set. So I've got this all ready to go. I'm thinking I might be able to get a Fissure going this time. Last time I didn't get one. And we've got Go-Goat here. It's like, oh, Go-Goat would be a great Pokemon to get that Fissure against. So here comes a Leech Seed. So it seems to be some sort of stalling set at the moment. And Fissure is going to slide on by. Now, it's got the Leech Seed up on the field. However, it's actually not a stalling set, as you'll get to see. So Go-Goat's going to get some... Wait, Go-Goat's already got all of its health back. So now it's going to go into Defense Kill. I'm like, oh, is this a rollout Go-Goat set? What the heck? Only on Pimnice Channel, people. You'll never see these memes anywhere else. So we got a little bit of Leech Seed damage there on my little soul. And I know that a rollout is coming my way. So here it comes, people. The big bad rollout. And yeah, the next one is possibly going to take me out. However, the Fissure is going to land and Go-Goat is done. So that's really, really good. I didn't want to get swept by a rollout Go-Goat. I would have been absolutely destroyed and roasted in the combo section. Next Pokemon is going to be a Luxray. Luxray's sort of leaning over a little bit this time, like a little bit of a different pose. So it's got the Thunder Wave, and I've got Purifying Salt, so that's not going to affect me. And now I can go for Fissure, and Fissure landed. So that's another victim to the little salt piles. That's excellent. So 2 Pokemon down so far. Luxray is crying. I wonder what that is. Probably some scumbag like Thunder Wave, I don't know, strategy, confusion strategy. Like people trying to make me salty. Next Pokemon's going to be Scarlet. It's got Mud Slap. What the heck? Now, Mud Slap actually isn't going to affect my move Fissure because Fissure, like moves like Fissure, one hit KO moves are not affected by accuracy modifiers. So I can keep going for this as much as I like. There, here comes the final Mud Slap. I lived on 1 health. And guess what, people? I went for Fissure again, and it landed. I got 3 Fissures in a row. You wouldn't read about it. So that's the end of the Skeledirge there. My opponent must be getting a little bit salty by that. I'd be getting salty. Now, the next Pokemon here is Floatzel, the Paldea champion. Now, this is about to take me out with a water gun real quick, and it's going to go for a Snarl. So it's going to be a special Floatzel. That's pretty cool. Now, the Floatzel has got a throat spray boosting its special attack. So I'm sure it's got some sort of powerful water type move in the back there. Snarl, I guess, is this there to boost its special. So we're going to go into the string cheese here. Who has, okay, I've got to ask this too. Who, when they were a kid or just now, had like a little string cheese in their lunchbox, right? You take the plastic off and you peel it down there and it would look like Goldengo's head. And you take little bits off and little bits and bits. It'll last forever, you know. A pretty cool idea. So anyway, I'm going to go for an Astonishing Astonish, and that does, you know, pretty good damage here. Unfortunately, it's going to be able to take me out and outspeed me. So I just try to do as much damage there to Floatzel as possible because, well, physical Goldengo isn't exactly what you call the MVP most of the time. So now we're going to go into the dash bun here. Here comes a blizzard. The bun was almost frozen. Man, I've got to tell another story here too. When I was a kid, right, there was a bun in the, not a bun in the oven. Not a bun in the oven. There was a bun in the freezer. Oh, I don't even, okay, I've completely lost my track of thought. There was a frozen bun in the freezer. I was like, oh, I'm going to, it was one of those ones with icing on the top, and I ate it, right, but you wouldn't read about it. It was frozen solid, so when I was a kid, right, my tooth, like, stuck into the bun, and that's how it came out. And then, you know, then I went, rest in peace, and then, you know, the tooth fairy came, and it took the tooth outside of my pillow. It was an amazing story. Anyway, back to the battle here. That is going to be the dash button, and I'm going to bring in the Chansey here. We got Cyclizar as the last Pokemon. It's going to be shifting some gears. Now, on my dash button there, I sausage fingered the button. I was actually meant to go for Play Rough, but I went for Stomping Tantrum instead there. I don't know, it double pressed A for some reason. I'm not sure of whether it was Joy-Con drift or just me like pressing the wrong button, but I swear that I never pressed A. Anyway, we got this scumbag flinching Cyclizar with Iron Head. Chansey's getting some good boosts up now, so the next one's almost probably going to take it out. Here comes another Iron Head on the egg, and unfortunately the egg is going to be cracked because it's going to be burst open by the Cyclizar. Actually, it's going to be the egg's going to be run over by a bicycle. Well, a motorbike in this case. Last Pokemon is the Pickle. I was like, okay, everything's fine right now. What I could do here, I know they're going to try and flinch spam me. It's cool because I got the Terra Water on Dragonite, so I can go for my strongest attack here against Cyclizar. That's probably the only attack that's going to feint it. Now, that attack, I've got Hurricane and Hydro Pump, right? I was like, those moves, they're all right, but I probably should just go for the Hurricane, right? And Hurricane miss. I was like, no. And now it's going to go for a Acrobatics, and I get critical hit. And that's the end of the second battle. I'm not getting very much luck with this Dragonite, so thank you, Dan, for the battle. That critical hit totally didn't matter, and the Hurricane miss totally didn't matter either. Let's get on to the third and final battle. This is a battle against Sammy. Now, I was roasting Goldengo before about being, pretty useless sort of Pokemon with the physical set, of course, but in this battle, it just rises up to the challenge. So we got this Lechonk lead here. We got a Iron Valiant lead. Now, it's going to be going for Electric Terrain, which, of course, is going to activate its little ability there. So it's going to get a Quark Drive, which is going to be boosting its attack, and it's also holding the item Electric Seed, too, which is going to give it a defense rise. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can beat this with a headbutt. So I went for Trailblaze. I outspared it. I'm like, what is What's going on here? So, anyway, I went for a double Trailblaze here, and the Iron Valiant, right, is actually going to go for a Thunder Wave, and Thunder Wave is going to miss. That's right, the first one I got a flinch. I'm sorry. I actually got a flinch there before, that's why I cut out. So, this Iron Valiant was a Metronome set, and it had Metronome Steel Wing almost taking out my bacon. A little bit of Rocky Helmet damage there to Violet, and then I went for the Headbutt, and I got another flinch. I was like, oh, this is good. So I kept going for flinches and flinches and flinches, and I actually managed to defeat the Iron Valiant, which was like super, super cool. The electricity is now gone. The Quark Drive is going to go with that. And Iron Valiant loses to a Lechonk. You're never, ever going to see that one again in your lifetime, all right? You could go around the world, you never see it. Next Pokemon is Iron Valiant. It is a 6 Iron Valiant team here. It's a Swift Iron Valiant, and that... Swift Iron Valiant, and that's going to take out my bacon. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to go into the cheese now. It's time to shred the opponent. Now, this is the big bad Iron defensive set. Here comes the Fusion Side. I'm sure that'll do 3 damage later. And what I can do is go for the Iron Head. Super effective. And that is going to drop Iron Valiant. So I'm like, okay, this is good. This is actually, this could be the true counter to their team. Let's see what happens. Next Pokemon's going to be Iron Valiant. Wow, here comes another Iron Head. I outspeed. It does good damage. It's quality damage, and it flinched. I'm like, this is awesome. Now, I almost went for a Disrespect Astonish there, but I didn't want to risk it, right? I want a Goldendo actually to do something. So that's half the team gone. Things are going swimmingly there. I'm getting my cheese, and I'm just pulling little strings off it. Next Pokemon is Iron Valiant, number 4 here, and it's going to be a Terra. I'm like, I wonder what this Terra is going to be. Now, I was hoping it was something I could at least do some neutral damage to, and it was a Terra fighting. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I mean, they won't be able to use a fighting type move against me. I'm kind of curious what move it will be using. So here comes a Shadow Sneak. So this is going to allow them to outspeed me. That doesn't do too much damage here, and Iron Head does pretty good damage, but it's a 3-hit KO. So like, all right, let's see what they're going to do here. They're going to keep going for Shadow Sneak. Now, Shadow Sneak is actually not quite going to activate my Lychee Berry. It was very, very close. And speaking of berries, the Iron Valiant is going to be eating a Citrus Berry, so it's going to get some more health back. Here comes another Shadow Sneak. Goldingo lives on 3 health. And on top of that 3 health live, it's actually able to live its Lychee Berry. I was like, wait a second. This is actually going to be enough to take out the Iron Valiant now. That was awesome. So, like, physical Goldingo is sweeping, you know. I would be a little bit salty too. So, next Pokemon's going to be Iron Valiant, number 5, hopefully staying alive. And here comes the big Iron Head. And it's dropped it in one shot. I'm like, oh, what is going on here? I'm just so lucky I've been faster in getting the flinches. So the last Pokemon is Iron Valiant, the Gourmet. Actually, that's kind of suits, you know. I don't know if you'd eat Iron Valiant, though. It might be good as a, I don't know, like a toothpick or something. You know, you pick Iron Valiant's blade up and you can, you know, get all the stuff out of your teeth. You floss your teeth. So that's the end of the cheese, unfortunately. But you know, what a legendary, you know, Guinness World Records performance there. So next Pokemon's going to be Chansey, and here comes a knockoff. So this seems like more of a competitive, serious set there. I'm going to say goodbye to my Everlight too. So knockoff and Spirit Break are going to be enough to take out the Chansey there in the 3rd shot. So I'm going to have my special attack drop, which doesn't really help either because, you know, Echo Voice is going to kind of be bad still, and knockoff is going to take my Chansey out. So that's all good. At least I got some damage there. Chansey isn't exactly what you call the big powerhouse Pokemon. I needed like lots and lots of boost. So we're going to go into the pickle here. The opponent is kind of in a bit of a pickle. So I went I think I went for a Thunder, so I went for a Paralysis, and I was like, this should be enough, and it didn't take it out, and it didn't Paralysis. I was like, oh. So here comes a Spirit Break. That's the end of the pickle there. It was very, very unfortunate stuff there, people, but the pickle has fainted. So next Pokemon is going to be the Soul. I was like, this is perfect. I can go for a Fissure Finish, and here comes a Leaf Blade, and I lived that, which is awesome. And the Fissure has missed. I'm down to my last Pokemon. And suddenly, the tides have turned. It's a reverse sweep. So I've got one more Pokemon left. And, yeah, what's the last Pokemon? Oh, the bun, of course. You have to have a nice, big, round bun, you know. I like a nice, big, round bun. So here comes the Spirit Breaking on the Dash Bun. Dash Bun lives it, which is great. And now I can go for any attacking move, and I'm going to go for that stopping. Actually, it looks like the bun's being, like, rolled out by a rolling pin. And that's it, people. That is the end of the 3rd battle with the Sandwich team. Hope you really enjoyed it. I've got a moveset guide coming later. Peace out, people.